Hello viewers, well over the course of this week the final 12 competitors in McLaren's World's Fastest Gamer will be competing to find the eventual winner who will take the role as McLaren's new simulation test driver. The challengers will be testing over a number of different games, game styles, scenarios, as well as physical training, mental training, in lots of different aspects to work out where they are and how they can reach their full potential and how they can deliver that to McLaren in terms of developing their cars of the future. But before all the running was kicking off, I thought I'd catch up with a couple of the competitors, Isaac Price and Gregor to find out what they had to say and how they felt they were getting on so far. Okay viewers, so here we are then. This is where all the racing is going to take place here later this afternoon. We're going to talk to a couple of the drivers before they go up there. Of course, it's very competitive. There's a lot of pressure on them, not just today, but throughout the entire event as well. And it's going to be interesting to see how they develop over the next few days. But that's it for me. Let's listen to some of the drivers. Okay, viewers, now I'm joined by Isaac, who, of course, I met at the UK qualifier, went on to Germany, won that as well, and here you are now at the finals. What's it been like the first 2 days of testing here at McLaren in this finals?
Well, I mean, the experience so far has been amazing. We've obviously been testing on a wide range of skills. We had our first race last night, which was pretty intense, very eventful, lots of difficult situations to manage mentally and physically, and yeah, so I've really enjoyed the experience so far.
One of the main things, obviously, you've got two areas. You've got your racing speed, you've got staying calm under pressure and focusing on what's at hand, but you've also got physical, and you've been working hard on your physical shape as well, because it's really important for all the different tests. How's that been?
Yeah, well, I identified that as my kind of main opportunity for improvement going forward. So yeah, I worked really hard in the gym. I managed to lose 16 kilos in a couple of months, which is amazing.
Amazing.
It's still a weakness though, but it's something I can show that I've improved and hopefully keep improving going forwards. I mean, I feel like it's helped my overall competitiveness in the game as well. You know, just having a healthier lifestyle, having watched what I eat, that sort of thing. It helps keep like a routine as well, which is really useful.
Well, I guess just the final thing, I guess, really is because you're going to go up and do some racing pretty soon, aren't you? You guys have got it this afternoon. I guess the one thing is to be as quick as you can, but not beat yourself. You know, I think one of the big frustrations you can have esports is to say, I should have done better, I'm quicker than that. And I think one of the things where you stay calm under pressure, especially under such top talent, keeping you on your toes, I guess, is to keep that mental focus.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think when you're doing a long race like that, you're battling against the stopwatch as much as you are against other people. So it's really hard to kind of keep that focus and tell yourself mentally the right things. So that's the main thing kind of that you have to work on, and just manage your expectations through the race. If you can only finish second, you finish second. That's what I tried to do yesterday. You know, I identified I couldn't quite match Gregor's pace at the end of the race, so I brought it home and finished second, which is obviously a really good step, hopefully, to getting through on Wednesday. So,
well, I tell you, thanks for your time today, Isaac. I know you've got a lot to get on with in the next few days. It's going to be quite the week, but thanks for your time and the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Hello viewers, well, now I'm joined by Gregor. Many of you will know from iRacing, one of the aliens, as I prefer to call you, actually, of super speed. How's it been coming to this so far? You've been here for a couple of days. What's been the toughest challenge so far at McLaren?
Well, there have been a few different ones, so yeah, it's tough to say. I think some of maybe the physical tests, like balance and stuff like that, so I think that's been the most difficult one.
Now your strength is going to be in raw speed. You're really quick with the car into the corners, everything else, you know that. What would you say is going to be your weaknesses? Would it be other areas, fitness? Would it be understanding some areas of engineering around the car? What would you say is the strengths and weaknesses that you have? Everybody has them.
I think as far as it comes to the sim driving, it would be getting used to the hardware here. So that's actually the hardest thing. But yeah, maybe some of the fitness stuff as well. As you get older, it gets a bit tougher. So yeah, that's one key point, I think.
Have you been into the McLaren sim yet, the official sim? You've seen it? Have you been in it, tested it?
No, not yet.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Now, it's got a lot of movement to it as well, wide-angle screen, a lot of commands for the engineers. I think that's going to be quite interesting because you just won't have experienced that amount of activity when racing before.
Yeah, that's going to be tough, focusing on different things, not just the driving. So.
I guess mental capacity is everything there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So today, I mean, you've done a lot of pressured drives. This is going to be one of the most pressured of your life over the next few days. Yeah. What would it mean to you to be a McLaren driver?
Well, it would be amazing because, of course, been doing sim racing for so many years, and to get to do it for a pro team, that would be amazing.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Gregor, wishing you the best of luck. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Cheers. So, from the competitors to the organiser, Darren Cox, who's also the man behind GT Academy, merging racing games with motorsport and really bringing the two areas together, and now demonstrating the skill of racing gamers and what they can bring to the world of motorsports as well. So I caught up with Darren to find out his thoughts on the progress made so far and his vision for where World's Fastest Gamer is going. Okay, viewers, well, now I'm joined by Darren Cox from Ideas in Cars, the man behind the brainchild behind it, I guess, working with McLaren. When I first saw this earlier this year, I wondered, is this one of Zach's sort of marketing angles in terms of how this is going to work? Is it a one-off? As the year's gone on, it really seems to have expanded rapidly into a real deal now. It's been taken very seriously.
Well, we always knew it was very serious, I guess, but whenever these things start off, there's always scepticism. We've seen in the gaming industry lots of false starts, I guess. You and I have been around long enough in the industry to see people promise a lot and not deliver. But behind the scenes, we always knew this was the real deal and long term. And as Zach mentioned earlier, they've just announced the first esports director for Formula One that's going to be starting, or started with them today. Ben Payne, ex of Microsoft, and with some Forza history in there as well. So they're taking it properly seriously. And anyone that saw the press conference where the McLaren Applied Technology team, Mikey Collier and those guys were talking about their efforts on this, hopefully anyone that's seen that will see this isn't just marketing. Of course, motorsport at the end of the day is marketing, that's what it's all about. But this is genuinely an attempt to do something that's credible and adds value to the gaming community and to McLaren as a Formula One team.
Well, that brings together a couple of elements, and I think it's quite important, is that it appeals to the games industry and the motor industry. So it appeals to gamers, but it's seen in terms of the serious aspects from the motor industry as well. One of the things you mentioned, I think, that stands this out from anything else is the fact that when you have the F1 esports, that's the best F1 driver. When you have MotoGP, it's best MotoGP. Here you've got all of the best from all the different racing games all coming together. That's the one big difference between this. So you're going to see the best Forza player playing the best player from Formula One. That's a real sort of titanic match, isn't it? Playing the best from iRacing. Who's the best, PC or console? It creates a lot of heated debate there.
Well, and this is the brilliant thing, isn't it? I mean, I'd say first of all, there's three core elements to what we're doing here. Number one is, as you say, it's the champion of champions. Number two is the fact that there's a job and not a prize at the end. So it does make it credible, and it does make it also really important for us to make sure that this is a robust process, not just who wins the 200,000 as Bono did in Vegas. And the third thing is about how we cover it. There's a lot now people, including F1, including MotoGP, covering online racing, and you guys have been doing it for many years. But this is more than that. Of course, yes, we're live streaming this race that's going on behind us here, the Indy 500, but that's only a small part of it. The big part is making the winners of their respective competitions heroes in a way, and it is then, going back to the first point, it is about the Forza guys that watch your channel supporting Aurelian. It is about the guys that are, believe that iRacing, online racing begins and ends at iRacing, supporting Gregor or Bono. And then it's the other guys that are like, well, hang on, I'm a bit of an outsider here, maybe supporting someone like Henrik, who qualified using Gear Club. So we've got all of those different elements, and you and I know, again, over the years there has been this massive debate. Forza's better than Gran Turismo's, iRacing's better than R Factor 2. Of course, we're not going to answer that argument, but what we're going to find out is where the talent is. And the answer is these guys are all talented. You know, whether it's Harry on the F1 game or whether it's Gregor on iRacing, they are the best at what they do. And then what we're doing is bringing them together. And by the way, we're making them uncomfortable. The way we're going to find out who the best is by making them comfortable. They're not sitting for 10 hours a day racing each other. What they're doing is they're going different tests. They're doing, they're talking to people like yourself that maybe they haven't done before. They're having their head pulled to one side or the other because of, you know, neck strength, etc. But also, I've seen these guys spin more than I ever have in the last 20 minutes because we put them on the Indy 500 oval, and these guys aren't used to doing that. They race on the circuits they race on, and the consoles they race on, and the hardware they race on. But none of them have done a 4-hour Indy 500 race on an oval, just keep turning left in the draft with the walls, doing pit stops. So these guys are uncomfortable. They're spinning off, they're crashing, they're hitting each other, they're getting the wrong pick box. So the person that will win will be the most adaptable. It'll be the one that maybe at the beginning of the week isn't the fastest or the best or the smartest or whatever, but will take lessons as he goes through the week, impress the judges, and end up getting the job.
Absolutely. Well, actually, that's the story of my life, actually, because I test all the new racing games before anybody sees.
You could have entered.
Well,
you're not the best of the best. You're a jack of all trades.
I'm a jack of all trades now. I wouldn't want to be a master anymore because it does get quite serious then. But I do have to quickly adapt. And so I say to people, when you're racing live, it's very different to your home rig that's perfect with no pressure. You know, and some people thrive under pressure. So I think it's going to be, like you say, interesting to see how they adapt. I think they've got a few days to get it together, and I hope that there's a certain calmness that you reach when you don't beat yourself. You do what you're capable of, and I think then everybody can walk away feeling like they've done their best, and you end up with the best guy. But listen, Darren, thanks for today. You know, like you say, well done on all the work done on this so far, and look forward to seeing how it comes together. Thank you.
Well, I said to you many a time, you know, one of my jobs in life is to try and, you know, bring this industry forward. I think one of the other things is to try and get more fans to real racing, and I think what we're doing here is opening people's eyes to what online racing can do, but also linking it back into the real world. And I hope that first of all some of these gamers really see this as a life-enhancing experience. We've already seen Isaac losing 11 kilos in 53 days.
Amazing.
The experience of, you know, being interviewed by people like yourselves, taking time here, being in, you know, having a benefit to their social media, and they just see it as a life experience. Even those guys that don't win or don't go on to have a career in this space, they remember this week and say, do you know what, I was there that first week at World's Fastest Gamer, I was there, it was fantastic, and it's meant I've done X. And if that X is not in this space, but it's made them a better engineer or a better surgeon or a better student, then we've done our job.
Absolutely. Well, you've brought it together, and I think bringing it closer to the motor industry every time, I think this gives it always more credibility in terms of the racing. But listen, Darren, thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
And there's no bigger brand than McLaren, so if these guys are going to do it, everyone else is going to have to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cheers. Thank you. So a big thanks to Darren there for his time, and of course we had to keep our voices low because there was a live practice session going on in the background, and this is all very serious stuff. But it was great to meet some of the competitors, to speak to Darren, obviously Zach Brown, you know, in terms of, you know, Zach's commitment in terms of the importance of this level of simulation and just how vital it is to the development of a modern Formula One car is absolutely vital, or any other cars for that matter that McLaren may be producing for high-end motorsport. So very interesting having the tour. I'm just going to leave you the last bit of footage now. Unfortunately there was a problem with my microphone in this footage. The microphone wasn't working, so it's using the onboard camera mic, but I wanted to share this glimpse inside McLaren. There was some really good footage there, and I thought I just want to share it with you. So I'm going to leave you with that, and there'll be more from me and more on the World's Fastest Gamer very soon. Okay viewers, so this is one of the key areas then at McLaren. Of course it's the simulator, and this is where the drivers are going to be, as well as the physical side, the mental side. Here they're going to be learning about not only demonstrating the driving skill, but the response and the feel from the car and the various different elements that the simulator can provide, which is far beyond anything that's commercially available. So it's really going to work on them sort of understanding the elements of the car, how to improve the car from the feel of the car rather than just the visual aspect as well. But of course all of that combined is what makes a great driver, but also a great test driver. And it's the testing that's the key element, so they can help the engineers quickly identify problems and fix them as well. So very impressive piece of kit here. We'll take a little look around the rest of the building and see what we can find. Okay, viewers, so having our tour, you've got all the trophy cabinets which go on for miles behind us, incredible range of trophies, and then round behind us, around this side here as well, we've got the Lego McLaren, which we saw being built at Goodwood Festival Speed earlier this year, and of course lots of people who went along to the event were putting pieces on there. Impressive little Lego model as well there as well. Great to see everything here McLaren, so much heritage, and we're going to see some of the cars as well, so we'll take a look at that. Okay viewers, so now we're in the spine of the McLaren building, and there is this traffic jam of cars, a Formula 1 heritage. You know, on one side you've got McLaren P1s, you know, million-pound cars. You know, on the other side we've got incredible F1 heritage. Cars from a whole range of eras. David Coulthard, Mika Hakkinen, you know, Lewis Hamilton. So many big names that have been at McLaren over the years. You've got a whole range of them as well, from the late 2000s and a range of aerodynamic details and completeness to the new groove tyres of 1998. Mika Hakkinen here as well. To obviously the new engines, the V6s of modern day today over the last couple of years. Such a range of cars that we see here. So much automotive history, passion and excitement in terms of what we see. It's really sort of wonderful to be around in terms of automotive culture. We've got, you know, Mika Hakkinen's World Championship cars parked here. We've got Senna's World Championship cars, Lewis Hamilton's. And it really shows you the heritage of the team. We all know the heritage of McLaren, but to be here and just witness this selection hidden away in the back of the building is really something special. And it really sort of fires like my personal sort of automotive passion in terms of what we see here. From what we've got with John Watson, we've got Niki Lauda's cars here, you know, David Coulthard, Kimi Raikkonen here as well, when he was driving for McLaren, and he was really on it at the time. Really nice to see, and of course you see all the aerodynamic changes. You know, if you look over here at say the 97 McLaren of Mika Hakkinen, you know, you can see there it's pretty plain comparatively speaking. Of course with the slick tyres and everything, and then within a few years we moved to these much more intricately detailed cars that literally control the airflow throughout the cars. It really was sort of the crazy bonkers era of Formula 1 up until 2008. And what's great to see is when you see the cars together like this, but also you see the evolution, you see the development, and you see just you know how the sport continues to evolve. Some good eras, some not so good. But McLaren is a team that certainly will bounce back again. Had a great end to the season in terms of the chassis development. We're looking forward to Renault next season and certainly looking to be more competitive in the future. But I hope you like this little tour. It really is a great privilege to be here for me to see all this, and there'll be more from us very soon.